Alright, some good stuff today in Apple news. We have got Samsung's new phones. They're pretty cool. Apple's upcoming SE2 and new T-Mobile is for real, for real. I'm Skylar. Let's get started. So, on Wednesday, Samsung introduced technically four, but we'll get to the fourth one later. 3 new devices. So, the Samsung Galaxy S20, S20 Plus, and S20 Ultra. These 3 new devices they're pretty just standard 2020 devices. So you could go watch someone else's video that explains all about the details. I'm going to talk about what I want that these devices have, I want in the iPhones. So here is what they've got. All of these devices, except for this normal S20, have 5G and millimeter wave 5G. Millimeter wave 5G is the faster 5G that's insanely fast, but has low range of the signal. Now, I really expect this from Apple because there's been so many leaks, and this would be really nice to set a new standard for them of adopting new cellular standards, which they haven't done in the past super quickly. This would be a pretty quick one for them. The next thing is the 120 Hz display. So that right there, this display goes up to 120 Hz. Technically, it starts at 60. You have to go in settings to change it. So I would expect Apple, and love for Apple, to do something more than 60 this year. 90, 120, maybe even something crazy like 240, but probably not. Just something more than 60 on the iPhone as their option, the default, the only option, the thing that just works on the iPhone. Also, this screen right here, check that out. Large, awesome screen. That as well, I would love to see on the iPhone. I mean, it's a gorgeous screen. It is coming pretty much leaked, certainly. Larger screens on this year's iPhones. So that's awesome. And you may notice this hole punch camera, which is interesting. It's actually less cameras than they had last year. Interesting. But not my point. My point is how much screen there is. Because without that notch that we have on the iPhone, there's so much screen there. Now, while I don't think Apple is totally eliminating the notch yet, I would love a smaller one. I don't know that they would do it, but I can just imagine how useful it would be to have a smaller notch. They haven't done it yet, but they really need to catch up with the rest of the world. I mean, they started the notch. They just need to make it smaller for us. I mean, really. And also with the cameras, this over here is what the cameras look like now. Notice in the top left of the screen. This is what they used to look like. 3 in a row in the middle of the screen. That left side of the screen seems oddly similar to what iPhones have. Camera up in the top left. Very intriguing, Samsung. I think that's a little bit of copying Apple there, but hey, Apple does it well, so you might as well do well too. The other thing is these cameras have crazy zoom. Like the Ultra, which is like a super pro device, has like 100 times zoom. Now, I'm not saying we need something that crazy on the iPhone, but I would really like some sort of zoom on the iPhone. Now, there is a 4th device, which I didn't fully mention, but is there. That would be the Galaxy Z Flip. A flipping phone. This is awesome. It's really pretty cool. I mean, not practical, kind of expensive, but pretty cool. I mean, this is going back to the original flip phone design right here. We just had Motorola release one, but this one's more polished. It's more of a final, more Samsung real product, and it's super cool. I mean, I'm an Apple fanboy, but this is just awesome. And don't expect Apple to do something like this until they have it perfectly perfect. So I think we're waiting years for that. Now, the iPhone SE2. We are seeing more confirming it. So one new source is again saying coming out in March at a price of $399. Basically confirmed now. The only thing not confirmed is the name on whether SE2 or iPhone 9. That's really pretty uncertain at this point. But we do know pretty much everything else. Now, what about the production of this iPhone, supposedly going on right now? Well, most of Apple's production is done in China, where the coronavirus outbreak is big right now. So there are definitely issues right now with iPhone production in China. There are reports of the Chinese government stopping Foxconn's iPhone production. Now, other reports, including from the government themselves, are refuting this, saying they're yet to decide on whether Foxconn will have to continue with their factories closed or that they can reopen. Now, Foxconn is really pretty certain they're opening. It seems like it's not going to affect it too much, but what it would affect is 2020 flagships and the iPhone 9, but we really don't know. I mean, we just can't be certain at this point if it will affect them or not. This next news is something you've definitely heard before. T-Mobile and Sprint becoming the new T-Mobile. But now, this is really happening. They've gotten their Department of Justice approval, some other U.S. people's approval, so they're ready to do this. All T-Mobile customers and Sprint customers will become new T-Mobile customers. That includes all of T-Mobile's little companies, but not all of Sprint's, just main Sprint customers. They're now new T-Mobile customers, or will be soon. Now, rates are not going to change at all according to T-Mobile. They may even go down. That's what they're saying. I mean, who knows if we can trust them, but that's what they're saying. Now, customers of Sprint-owned Boost and Virgin Mobile will be Dish customers soon. So, same thing, probably just owned by Dish instead of Sprint. This probably won't affect you in any way soon, but could eventually have an effect on you. Now, assuming T-Mobile and Sprint are telling us the truth, it'll get better and cheaper eventually. But who can we really trust anyway with this? Siri can tell you stuff about the 2020 US elections, primary, and caucuses. Let's try it out. Who won the New Hampshire primary? There she goes.
Bernie Sanders won the New Hampshire Democratic primary and Donald Trump won the Republican primary.
There we go. That's pretty useful. Comes from News, which also has got coverage of the election. Now, the good thing about both of these coverages is because they're server side, they work on old versions of iOS. I'm running iOS 12. I have both of these features. Now, Apple News has some of the best US election coverage, according to Apple. So, I mean, it's nice. I haven't really used it, but according to Apple, it's the best. So, I mean, if we're going to trust Apple, this is the best. Apple Pay could get to 10% of global credit card payments by 2025, according to an analyst. Right now, they're already at 5%, so I could really see this happening. I mean, a lot of people use iPhones. Apple Pay is very useful, I can say myself, having used it once online and once in store. It was very easy, very smooth. I truly liked it. I mean, I can see this happening. So the next item of news is Apple joining the FIDO Alliance. Oh, you don't know what that is? Okay. The FIDO Alliance wants to eliminate passwords using trusted devices. Oh, you want to know what that means? Alright, whatever. So, for example, using your watch to unlock your iPhone, or your iPhone to sign into Google on your Mac, or your Mac to sign into Facebook on your Apple Watch. I mean, that's the idea there, and Apple is getting in on this. And with Apple's support, I imagine this going bigger. It's got a lot of big name companies in there, like PayPal, I think Google, a lot in there. So this could really go places, and finally help us have a secure system without passwords. Now, I know the 6 of you watching can remember your passwords easily and it's not a problem, but there are other people out there who struggle with it. So hey, shout out to the 6 people still watching. I'm Skylar. Thanks for watching. Bye.